Well, it looks like things may be worse off at the Daily Wire than expected. I do want to point out, I think the Daily Wire is by far a net positive in this space, and over the years has provided a lot of great entertainment and commentary. And I would also argue that regardless of what happens to Daily Wire Inc., people like Matt Walsh will be fine. Michael Knowles will be fine. Ben Shapiro will be fine. The company looks like it is in the midst of a restructure as the CEO, Jeremy Boring, stepped down last week. And then only days later, another big surprise person fired at the Daily Wire amidst apparent financial woes. Now, I found it very difficult to believe that the Daily Wire, run by Ben Shapiro, would have any issues at all with money. But it looks like that might actually be playing out as true, which is bonkers. They must have mismanaged their money at an apocalyptic level to burn through all that chocolate money and razor money and $15 a month Daily Wire subscriptions and all this kind of stuff. This is wild. And, I don't take a lot of joy in, if this company were to go down. I don't like some of the things they do, but I do think that, them creating family-friendly kids content is a good thing. Them giving Gina Carano a job was a good thing. But then they kind of made a series of really odd decisions. Bringing in Jordan Peterson was weird to me. Probably couldn't afford that. Letting Brett Cooper go. Getting rid of Candace Owens. It all seems to go back to Jeremy Boring, his potential ego, and many other things going on. But, Ben Shapiro also getting in a lot of heat for, his opinions on JFK. Let's look at all this. By the way, huge shout out. I'm giving a multiple shout out today to Meta PCs. They are the only computer I use, and the brand new NVIDIA graphics cards are out. You can get Intel chips, AMD chips, gaming computers, business computer, ready to ship computers, fully custom builds, whatever you want. And you can save money with promo code The Quartering or Rumble. They both give you the same amount of discount. And we're moving into a brand new 15,000 square foot building. A coffee company is purchasing all new equipment to make Nespresso pods and our own coffee scrubs and things like that, protein creamers. And we need your help. And the best way right now that we're doing is we're putting together these 3 bundles. I hope that you'll pick up one of them today using promo code Rumble. You'll save 10% on them. And they ship in early April. And there's something for everyone. We also have coffee, tea, and cocoa, organic tea, should you not want coffee. Now, the president of the Daily Wire, John Lewis, just stepped down amid financial struggles. Once a top lieutenant and recently ousted co-founder Jeremy Boring, sources say his departure was inevitable after internal backlash over the company's financial mismanagement. I mean, this is pretty wild. Now, if we go back, the news kind of broke last night, but this actually was secretly kind of put out there. Let's see. Resignation tracking, March 18th, 2025, Real Daily Wire, Jeremy, CEO, Real Jeremy Wire. I don't see how this is his name on this list? Let me see. This is not, he resigned on the 18th. Let's look at this. John Lewis. So was it not reported until now? Basically nobody knew. Wrong. They're saying that the Daily Wire CEO is not new, but this guy is the president of the company. He's gone. This is crazy. People are calling on Matt Walsh and Michael Knowles to leave. Remember, a lot of this came through. You got to give some credit to Ian Carroll for apparently scooping that the financial problem was bigger than anyone anticipated, because it clearly was.
The Daily Wire is going bankrupt, allegedly, and Jeremy Boring is officially out as CEO. That's right. The self-proclaimed God King of the Daily Wire is at the heart of so many scandals. And yes, he is self-described as the God King. And the email just went out today internally that he is stepping down, and now Axios is covering the story. It has not yet broken, as far as I'm aware, that private equity is moving in and looking to buy up the Daily Wire. I heard, rumor mill, that Silver Lake Capital is looking to buy them up. And yo, Silver Lake, you guys might want to watch this video before you think too hard about it, because there's a lot that is not in the public square right now. We're about to get into stuff like canceled credit cards, lying to the press, trying to trick Tim Pool. As far as I can tell from my sources, even people inside of the Daily Wire only know part of the story, and they're all kind of getting played against each other. It's a whole mess. And the most important part of this mess is that the Daily Wire has a long history of treating their employees like shit. And so I've had numerous sources inside the Daily Wire for quite some time.
To be clear, I don't have any sources really inside the Daily Wire. I assume because I've been critical of the Daily Wire as a company over the past couple of years, they're not exactly going to be reaching out to me. I hear from them, after they leave. I could talk to Candace Owens or Brett Cooper. But that's not going to tell me anything about what's going on right now.
Because everyone hates them, even their own people. That's not to mention the numerous sources outside of the Daily Wire that did not take the NDA money on the way out. Like, I had people literally in my comments on Instagram offering to give me dirt on the Daily.
Again, you see this, the Daily Wire bankrupt, all the hate I have invested in that company is finally paid off. I don't hate the Daily Wire. I think that they generally do good work. I like Matt Walsh, even though he has trash opinions on pop culture. Like I said, the Daily Wire implosion plotline is just getting started. Now, this is just two people, but it is two leaders at the company. Myron Gaines writes, here's the reality. The real reason Jeremy Boring and John Lewis are stepping down is because they were never the real CEOs. The real CEO was always Ben Shapiro. They were merely placeholder CEOs to create the image that Ben is just a creator with less influence than he really had. But the reality is Ben is the real CEO calling the shots, and Boring and Lewis can no longer run cover for his blunders anymore. I can't refute that. I can't refute that, Do I think that the company's completely dead? That seems extremely unlikely. First of all, if they're having cash crunch stuff, someone's going to come in and buy them or inject money. It's just too big. It's just too big to not do that. The other interesting fact is that, as I predicted, okay, I said this last week when people are all over my junk saying, oh, Jeremy Boring's still with the company. He's just doing BS. This proves my theory on day one that Jeremy Boring is definitely out. This idea that he left gracefully and he's still a fan of everybody there and all is baloney. He's out. He probably, I don't know. In my experience, very rarely do CEOs step down for just, whatever reasons. They are always forced out. Not to pile on, this person says, but I believe Daily Wire has done some great and impactful, innovative things. But this was one of the worst moments in Jeremy Boring's time as CEO. When they write, this was a disgusting piece and I'm sorry we ran it. The Chosen defense pride flag spotted on set. Let the show speak for itself. A show like The Chosen has 100 employees. One of them brought a pride flag to work. That sucks, but it's hardly the fault of the show. The producer's response also sucked, but it isn't untrue. You don't have to hire gay people to allow, So, again, the Daily Wire has had some very questionable, hot takes recently. So I'm not surprised. We saw this when Jeremy Boring stepped down. Brett Cooper had something to say about it. I don't see anything on our timeline about the president of the company. It's going to be weird. This article, Ben Shapiro, why does it matter who shot JFK? Ben is saying basically it's a conspiracy theory he doesn't care about, and it doesn't really matter, but because it was so long ago. But I suspect that Ben Shapiro, if I said, hey, there's various theories about this thing that happened a really long time ago that is important to you, you would say that is of the utmost importance. But Ben Shapiro doesn't like to have, you know, he only allows people to have the conspiracy theories that he thinks are valid. Remember, who can forget his meltdown about people, quote unquote, just asking questions? He didn't like that either. He didn't like people asking questions. You know, this is actually wild. Is it just that you see Daily Wire President John Lewis now just stepped down? Days after CEO Jeremy Boring, the Daily Wire is a sinking ship. Daily Wire President John Lewis steps down amid mounting financial turmoil. The financial turmoil is just speculative. I haven't seen any proof of that. There were rumors in the Ian Carroll video about credit cards that were getting rejected. I don't see Candace Owens taking any shots at him for this, so it doesn't appear like she had any kind of personal beef with this guy. It could just be a leadership shakeup at the top, but it is odd. You know, it's odd that some of this other stuff seems pretty,
like
you know,
pretty much everyone else.
Listen to this.
Like even Ben Shapiro and Jeremy Boring, it sounds like there's a huge rift between them from what I'm hearing. There's even rumors that I can't confirm quite yet that Ben Shapiro hired his own PR person like months ago. Brett Cooper was basically like their last profitable endeavor right now. I assume they make a little bit off Matt Walsh, but I'm not quite sure and I can't confirm.
I'm sure they make lots of money off Matt Walsh. Now, if we look at Ben Shapiro, who grew bigly in July, has steadily been slowing growth, but this is pretty common in our space. Ben Shapiro gained 0 subscribers in December for the first time in years. 0. 0 subscribers in September, 0 subscribers in February. For the first time in years. This is going back to 2022, okay? His overall views have been plummeting. Went from 177 million down to 48 million. His views are down 60%. Matt Walsh, several nothing burger months. Now here he was pretty popular around the election. Again, if you look at my channel, it's been pretty flat too. But the views have been pretty consistent for Matt Walsh. So Ben Shapiro has created a problem for them. You know, Candace Owens, all these people leaving, creating a problem for them. I do think that they're a net positive in the space, so I hope that they get stuff sorted out. Let me know what you think in the comment section down below. And don't forget, Meta PCs, promo code Rumble, and check out our coffee brand coffee bundles. We'll talk to you again real soon.